Griffin here, coming back to you all with another live stream. I had a quick, gotta turn this volume down. I forgot I got my GPS on here, and it was blasting my eardrums. Have a quick 20 minutes roughly to do a drive to do a live. We're heading out of Dallas, got a couple stops in Dallas late afternoon. It's currently about 5:45 here where I'm at in the Dallas, Texas area. For those of you that don't know who I am and you may be tuning in for the first time, of course, my name is Griffin Thomas. I'm the owner of the company Preferred Pest Management in the Dallas, Texas area. We've been in business for pretty much right at 3 years now, and on this channel, I just document my entrepreneurial journey overall. It's been a few days since I've gone live, uploaded a video. Of course, I post some shorts here and there. Most of those have been, on the back end, scheduled already. I make shorts in advance. They don't take very long for the most part. Some of them do, but yeah, if you're looking at, starting a pest control business specifically, or any service business, the advice that I give, it works really for most service businesses. As a matter of fact, you can be a painter, an electrician, plumber, whatever the case may be. My business that I own specifically, of course, is a pest control business. And for those of you that don't know my story, of course, just to give you the short version, again, we've been in business for 3 years. Our first year, we took that business from zero to over $100,000 in gross sales, in revenue. And yeah, like I said, I just kind of post my journey on this channel. You'll see me adjust this little, it's not even a tripod on here. It's one of those Steely magnet things as we hit some bumps. The Steely is great about helping keep the video somewhat stabilized, but it definitely causes the phone to drop still a little bit here and there. And of course, if you have any questions or anything, that's what these live streams are for. I see we got a little bit of y'all starting to tune in. Let's see. How's it going? Shout some of y'all out. How's it going, Jordan Wheeler? By the way, it's going to be kind of hard to read some of these comments because I am going 70, 80 miles an hour on I-30 in Dallas, Texas. Surprised we're even going this fast at 5:40 in the evening on a Friday. I guess that's probably what it is. It's what, Labor Day weekend? Is that the, employee holiday of the weekend for this weekend? Everybody must have got off early because, man, traffic was bad at 2 or 3 o'clock, and here it is 5:40. It's really not bad at all. How's it going, Jordan Wheeler? How many hours do you work in a day typically? I'm assuming that you're talking about field, out in the field. Out in the field, it really varies. I have days where, of course, I don't work at all. Um, for example, I had COVID this past week, just now, finally starting to kind of kick it. Shout out to the oregano oil and all that good stuff that I take. But, um, days where it's zero, mostly towards the end of the month, of course, or if there's a rainy day or whatever the case may be. But if I were to put an average on it, my average time out in the field per day right now is probably around 6 hours a day. I would say probably five or six, somewhere around there. I didn't realize I was going to have to exit here. There must be traffic up ahead. But yeah, I would say definitely probably around 5 or 6 hours a day is probably about right. We're running not a god awful amount of stops right now. We're running between 100 to 150 stops per month right now. That doesn't factor in, of course, callbacks or new starts or anything of that nature. But uh, um, yeah, hopefully that gives you some kind of idea. I'm assuming, like I said, that you're referring more to the hours out in the field. Now, if you factor in, of course, the hours that I spend doing our content creation for our website, which thank God for AI from that standpoint, it has made it a lot easier, right? For the most part, I just have a prompt. I go in there with an outline of what it's going to be about, the keywords, this and that, and then boom. I mean, I can damn near copy and paste those articles. There's a little bit I still got to tweak, but It makes it a lot easier instead of oops, hold on. Give me just a second. Are we back? Here we go. All right, sorry about that. Thought that my phone, I had like a call coming in all of a sudden, and I thought my phone answered it. Because these freaking AirPods, right? Um, but yeah, like I said, if you factor in everything, though, I literally work 18 hours a day. I shit you not. There's some days I work 20, just keeping it real. Um, it's not what I would suggest necessarily. But some days it is what it is, right? Let's see. Hey man, I'm Bryson Jones. How's it going? And let's see who else we got. Alec, how's it going, Alec? I'm not gonna try to pronounce your last name because I hate mispronouncing people's names. Um, let's see. How do you determine pricing your pest control service when starting out? So when first starting out, I will say my pricing was very, fluffy to say the least, like a lot of us, especially if you started out as a tech. Now, I think if you start as a salesman and transition into owning your own business, it's a lot easier to price your services. But when I first started, I had virtually zero experience. Of course, when it comes to being a technician at Terminex, where I came from, we needed to like turn in leads, which I was great at, turning in leads, but I wasn't really forced to sell anything there. Only thing in terms of pricing I really knew about was roughly how much the exclusions were and then how much the pest control was. I didn't know anything else about, hopefully, we're not having a streaming issue. I noticed that we just had like all of you all drop out of here all of a sudden. Um, Yikes. Hopefully, that's not what happened. Let's see. Huh? It says we're on the 5G ultra wideband, so hopefully the connectivity's been all right. But yeah, when it comes to pricing the services, um, we've gotten to the point now where we really dialed that in when it comes to how we do it. We price it based off of, square footage. When it comes to termite service, we price it based off of linear footage. I'm trying to think if there was anything else. Let's see, square footage, linear footage. I would say that sums up just about how we, when it comes to exclusion is the one service that it definitely, and if you're wondering why I'm kind of, all over the place, is because I finally ran into traffic. I jinxed myself when it came to traffic. Um, but yeah, when it comes to exclusion, it's a lot more heavy, a lot more involved. I'm actually in the process right now, funny enough, of, not I'm pretty much just raising prices when it comes to exclusion, just because I find that it sucks. Just being real, like those are the worst jobs to deal with in terms of anytime I negotiate on my price or anything like that. It ends up being a pain in the ass, and I'm just tired of dealing with it more than anything. So I'm raising the prices, and if people want to pay those prices, then they're still going to get the best service. Like I'm not changing how we do the service or anything like that. But I'm going to be cutting out a lot of, the lower middle class. Poor people couldn't afford it to begin with, nor did I expect them to. But, I've been trying to work a lot with people, and I think it's just being too nice with people at the end of the day. It is what it is. When it comes to money and you're nice with people, people just, try to take advantage of you more than anything. But yeah, exclusion is the one thing I definitely say is going to take you the longest in terms of getting that price dialed in. Just because, again, from my experience, that is like the biggest headache. Termite and pest control, it's pretty easy to get dialed in. Termite is very straightforward. You just go ahead and charge based on the linear footage. How much do you have to drill? Do you have to drill any holes? And if so, how many? Again, pretty straightforward when it comes to that. General pest control, it's a lot more straightforward than what a lot of companies make it out to be. Um, that's why, for the longest, we put an instant price tool on our website. If you guys have checked out our website recently, you probably noticed that I took that off of our website for the most part. We're doing kind of a A and B testing right now with that. Um, I've noticed we're actually, believe it or not, selling a lot more with people just filling out kind of a quick lead. I call it a quick lead capture form, is what we've created now. And like I said, we're still in the process very early on of doing this A to B testing with these two forms. You guys, like I said, know that we've had that instant price tool on our website. And the biggest downside to that instant price tool is of course, people see their instant price. So if they if they don't think that they can afford it, or they think it's too much, or whatever the case may be, it just weeds them out from the very beginning, right? So that means they're not going to answer the phone. You have no chance on, offering them discounts, this and that. A lot of people just see that price and they think that's just, it is what it is. So what we're doing now is like on our homepage and our most busiest, most of our busiest, I should say, because like I said, we're doing A to B testing, so we don't want to make it too lopsided or anything. But what we're doing is we're testing out this new quick form submission, or quick lead capture, I should call it, it's called, which is all they literally do is they enter in their name, their phone number, their email. Um, that's it for one of them. And then the other one, they can put in, if they wish, what type of pest problem they are dealing with as well. We're just trying to, again, make it as easy as possible for the customer to put their information in. That way, they're more likely to submit the form, right? Because, once you get that information, even if you don't get them to answer the phone or whatever the case may be, you still got their number now, you've got their email. That means you can send marketing out to them. Of course they could unsubscribe to it and all that stuff, but you still have the opportunity to sell them at the end of the day. I currently work for Terminix, but I'm starting my own business. Yeah, no, I was in the same boat. I worked for Terminix for about, what was it, 3 years or so, something like that. I worked for Mosquito Joe before that for a very short period of time. But it definitely, I think Terminix, in my opinion, regardless of which route you go, which I think this will answer your question too, Chaos, hopefully not mispronouncing your name, which if you're going to work for Terminix specifically, I don't necessarily think there's a wrong path. I would say don't be an exclusion tech or don't be a termite tech of the, positions available. But other than that, you could be a technician, you could be an OSP, you could be, you know, a sales manager, a branch manager, whatever, level, however high you can go. Obviously, the higher you can go, the more you're going to learn, right? Kind of common sense in terms of you're going to get a lot more insight on the business if you're a manager than just kind of a pest technician, right? But the value of being the pest technician is you're going to learn how to do the services the right way. And when I say the right way, I'm not saying the way Terminix does it is the right way by any means. I always my customers, because they're like, "Oh, you used to work for Terminix." I'm like, "Yeah, I did a long time ago, and I learned the good things, and I learned a lot of bad things of like what not to do." Right? So I'm not even saying that whatsoever. But like, my whole point is, I don't think you can go wrong with any route that you go if you are going the Terminix route to, get the experience under your belt in terms of the pest control industry. Man, look at this traffic, man. Look at this. That's the interstate right there. It's a parking lot. Straight up parking lot, man. Trying not to show that person's info. Get this camera flipped back around. Straight up parking lot, man. Every day, every day. Stop moving. No, don't stop moving to Dallas because I need more customers always. But yeah, crazy out here. How's it going, Tropical Fruit Loops? Do you do at heights? Do you do at heights exclusion for mice, squirrels, raccoons, etc.? I'm finding it hard quoting. What do you mean by do you do at heights? I feel like it could have potentially been a typo. Are you asking like, how do you like see up high? Um, just trying to understand the question, I guess. Um, how do you do? How do you do heights? But just to kind of, because you said I'll hit the second part of that question, I guess, because you said I'm finding it hard quoting. So I'm assuming you're just like talking about you're having a hard time quoting exclusion jobs. I'll give you all my layout essentially in terms of how I quote right now. Again, we're about to jack our prices way the fuck up because I'm tired of dealing with, um, you know, I hate to say it, but what it is, middle class, lower middle class specifically, customers who are just a royal pain in the ass at the end of the day. Don't get me wrong, there's plenty of, upper middle class and rich customers that can be a pain in the ass too, but I've been in business long enough now where I've had a large enough sample size to know that these, um, lower middle class customers are just pain in the ass. It is what it is. 80% of them, I'd say, 70, 80% of them are just pain. How many roof returns there are? Um, how many roof returns there are? How many attic vents there are? How many turbines, if any, there are? Why are we at a standstill up here? How many turbines are there? What else? Trying to think of just all the different. Oh, gable vents. Are there any gable vents? And if so, how many? Um, groundwork, what we usually do is I'll go around and measure the linear footage if I have my tool on me to do so. If not, it's not the end of the world. I'll ask them what's the square footage of the home, and that lighting coming in the window. um I'll ask them what's the square footage of the home. Usually I have a rough idea anyways. And then from there, I look for gaps underneath things like freezer boards, soffit boards. If you don't know what a roof return is, look it up. It's super easy. I think I mentioned that already, but how many roof returns are there? And are those roof returns going to need to be completely rebuilt? Meaning, are we going to have to create a piece for the fascia board and the soffit and maybe even the freezer board as well? Or is it just going to be, a simple one piece that we're putting into the soffit portion of the roof return? If it's something easy like that, those roof returns are priced cheaper. If it's something where we're going to be making, two or three pieces for the roof return to rebuild it, then of course that's going to cost more because more time, labor, more product use, all that fun stuff. Warranty. Do they want a warranty or do they not really care about a warranty? Um, what else? Weep holes. How many weep holes is there? Is there a weep hole in every other brick? If you're dealing with like a brick veneer home, of course. And if you're not dealing with a brick veneer home, then, say you're doing siding, like what is it called? It has a specific name, like T-board or it's similar to hardy board, but you guys probably know what I'm talking about. It's like a fake wood type of siding. Are you dealing with that type of siding? Or are you dealing with vinyl siding? Either way, you're going to have to feel up under there. Are there a bunch of holes that need to be repaired? That has to be priced in. It is a very in-depth, you know, job in terms of when it comes to the quoting process. Maybe second story exclusion jobs and roof returns. Yes. Okay. So yeah. So I was kind of on in terms of what I was assuming. Yeah. With second story, sometimes what I'll hear guys will do for that is they will actually um, get a drone. They'll get just a little cheap drone, nothing crazy, just so they can see what it, one of those drones that have the little video display screen on the little controller there. You can get fancy with it if you want, but you can get just a cheap one where you can see what you need to see, essentially. And I've heard that those work pretty damn good, in all honesty. Um, I see a lot of roofers even do that. Roofers, inspection, home inspectors. A lot of people are using those anymore when it comes to that. Oh, this guy, no, he can go. Um, But yeah, that's one way you could get around that. The thing that I usually do, in all honesty, I don't have a drone or anything right now, but what I usually do is I just freaking, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? I will just step back. I'll step across the street. I'll go, in the neighbors, not in their backyard or anything, but like right up against their backyard. I'll just step back as far as I can. I'll use Google Earth as well. Definitely use Google Earth. A lot of times, Google Earth, you can view from the top and, kind of see if there's anything that you might be missing. I don't really have a lot of issues. Occasionally, I will have a fuck up where I think I saw everything, and then I'm like, shit, there's one more vent or something. But, we charge enough on our vents and stuff where even if and that's right now, that's before us raising prices. Um, we charge enough on the vents where it's really not that big of a deal in terms. Oh shit! I realized this lane was ending. Um, what was I gonna say? I forgot what I was even gonna mention. Oh man, I looked like an idiot right there. Anyways, you think I know this town? This is my part of town. But yeah, no. Hopefully that kind of answers the question. If you're still watching right now, Tropical Fruit Loops. Trying to think if there's anything else that I might be missing from the side of. Yeah, I think that pretty much covers it in terms of exclusion side of things. Let's see, do we have any other questions? None. Yes, Alec. Okay, so no other ones so far. Cool. I'm trying to think if there's been any other questions that I've gotten recently from you guys in terms of the actual like YouTube comments, because of course we get YouTube comments. Man, I noticed, and it might just be like the seasonality, obviously, of pest control. I noticed back in the spring, my goodness, I couldn't even keep up with your all's comments. And lately, y'all haven't been asking too many, but I'm sure what you can ask when it comes to pest control. Um, so, yeah, you have that side of it, of course. But yeah, just to give you all like an update, because I know some people also tune in not just for questions, of course, but hey, how are you doing in terms of like my business journey and stuff like that. Um, let's see. Today we sold. I don't even know. I've lost track. I know I sold a yearly account for like $1,100 plus tax, just bi-monthly rodent and pest control on a home in Dallas. That's actually what put me behind today. Was I thought I had time for that stop. In reality, I didn't. But hey, at least we got $1,100 plus tax for the year out of it. What else? I could have swore we sold something else today too. I'm having, oh yeah, this flea treatment that I'm actually on my way to do. We're gonna go ahead and get that flea treatment knocked out. That's gonna be what, two? I forget how much I charge her. It's a smaller home, like less than 1,000. It's like an older, smaller home, less than 1,000 square feet. Um, she's like a neighbor of mine. She lives like maybe 5 minutes from my house, like nothing crazy. So I'm like, yeah, I don't have to like charge him in a leg or anything. but we should be getting back into some good quality sales service right now. That's another thing I've been thinking about doing for not just another thing actually that I've been debating doing for you guys was not just for you guys or for the pest business or whatever, but for both of them is getting like a mobile Wi-Fi hotspot, not just like one of those old hotspots that have been around for just because one, as you can see, we keep kind of cutting in and out. The area that I live in, Rowlett, Texas, specifically in East Dallas, uh, um, and so much easier for the pest control business because there's a lot of times where, again, I'll be further out east where it's even worse than where I live, and I'll just have like zero cell service. And that's one good thing I like about Gorilla Desk. You guys know I talk about them a lot on this channel. Like, I love their CRM. I do love the fact that they have like an offline version that you can use because they know they have a lot of rural route customers who need some type of offline capabilities, and you can actually do quite a bit on the offline version as well. So, just another selling point for Gorilla Desk at the end of the day. And by the way, if you don't know what Gorilla Desk is, if you click my link tree in my description box, there's a link to Gorilla Desk where you can get like 14 days for free on there. Some of you guys in the past had asked like if we had an affiliate link with them. We hadn't for the longest, and then I reached out to the owner, Chris. He's a cool, down to earth guy, and he was like, "Yeah, no, I can hook you up with a affiliate link. Give your viewers, couple weeks free of the pro." And that's the cool thing, it's the pro version too, not just the cheap version. You get access to everything. So I thought that was pretty cool. But let's see. Tropical fruit says, "Hey brother, I think I just got the wrong client. Lower middle class. She wants me to silicone soffit and do we poles for handyman price. 350. Yeah, no, I'm not doing nothing for 350. Let me put it this way. My lowest exclusion job ever, lowest paying, obviously this is like gross sales. My lowest paying exclusion job was 950 bucks. That's like minimum. And any more after we raise our prices, the lowest is probably going to be like 1450, to be honest. And that's the lowest just because there's so much time, and plus people underestimate the price of that. You're talking about silicone, exterior caulking. People underestimate how much that shit costs. Even if you, like me, I'm always looking for that best deal. um just looking out for prices, and usually you can find good prices on it compared to like Home Depot, but even then, you're still looking at like $7 per tube. An average home, we will use, anywhere between 6 to 20 tubes of that exterior caulking. So it's like you do that math alone, boom, you're already up to minimum 36 to what, like $120 in caulking. And that doesn't factor in your excluder, your metals, screws, your wear and tear on your vehicle, your wear and tear on your body, your other tools like for your drill, your bits. Like there's so much that goes into the exclusion. That's why, like I said, me personally, um, not to mention the guy who I have doing our exclusion services, he's been doing it for almost 2 decades. Like there's something to say about experience in the industry. Um, and then, like you said, having the right client for your business as well. There's no price at the end of the day on having the right client. Um, yes, bad Griffin texting and driving. I know. I shouldn't be looking at you guys either while driving, but just making sure this client is fine with me coming out still. She said, okay, I'm here. Good. Cool. So yeah, we will have sold that flea job, and she's a recurring client actually, almost like clockwork. Every September, she has fleas show up. I noticed that because I was like, man, I feel like every time around the end of summer she hits us up, and sure enough, like clockwork, September, September, September. Always no later than like September 15th. She has fleas. It's very strange, but I keep trying to talk them into, hey, hop on our total pest protection plan. You'll be covered on fleas, ticks, this and that and the other. We're going to be out practically every month. You're only going to pay you're only going to pay 5x what you're paying today. But, yeah, you're going to be paying 5x, but we're going to be out practically almost every month of the year doing something too. Because they tend to deal with, some other issues from time to time. I think they dealt with like a little mice issue at one point, which who knows, that could have started the whole flea issue, right? It's a crawl space. I didn't even think of that until just now. Yeah, it's a crawl space foundation, which is rare in the Dallas, Texas area. I don't deal with very many crawl space homes. Uh, yeah, yeah, come think of it, yeah, some rodent gets up under there, right? It has fleas. But what are the odds that every September they just have a rodent pop in there? Like, it's weird. I don't know. But yeah, no, you're spot on there. Tropical Fruit Loops. Yeah, you're kind of hitting right on my point about, why we are even raising our prices even more on our exclusion service because, like I was explaining to my 1099 guy who goes out and actually does the work for us, I was like, I told him straight up because we had this issue with a customer who I'm not even going to get into it right now. I don't want to get my blood pressure high right now, but I'll do a separate video about it for you guys. But long story short, he had another company come out after us who scammed him on insulation and all this other bullshit he didn't need. He feels like we were the one that conned him instead of that company. And I was like, dude, I was like literally working with you because you had 12,000 and that dollars. I upfronted over $500 to pay my technician, and all this other stuff for 2 weeks. I gave you 2 full weeks to even put any money down on this job, and you've only paid an additional $120 since the job. Like, I was just like, whatever, dude. And then, like, I told my 10-9 guy, I was like, dude, I'm tired of doing this shit. I was like, I'm about to just stop doing exclusion. And we got to talking about it and talking about prices and this and that because, like, we're in constant communication. Like, we have a very good relationship, me and him, in terms of business and everything. And we came to the conclusion where it was like, man, like, because he was even like, I'm surprised you're selling it for that cheap with how much you pay me. I was like, he was like, you're really not, making that much, especially if you go out there for any callbacks or anything. And I was like, yeah, dude. Like, I mean, yeah, I mean, we're going to have to raise prices. It is what it is. And I explained to him, I was like, if I raise prices, the chance we're not going to be selling as many as we've been. I was like, you've been making damn near not full time money off of the jobs that I sell in terms of the amount of work I provide. But I was like, you've been making some good money. I was like, are you sure you want to, you know, you're sorry about this lighting. That's god awful. He was like, what's better, me a month from you or me get 0 jobs a month from you because you just got so pissed off you stopped doing it altogether. I was like, well, I didn't even look at it like that. So yeah, no, we came to that conclusion that yeah, I'm gonna have to go ahead and raise prices on it. It is what it is. I'm gonna have to be a lot more strict. I'm not gonna be as nice about offering, in-house financing and shit like that anymore. Like it's just yeah, a lot's gonna be changing with our exclusion service specifically. Otherwise, like I said, it was something that I'm just gonna drop because I don't even need it. It's just extra money for me and extra money for the guy that I hire it out to, the 1099 guy. Because I mean, hell, he made probably an extra 10 grand this year at the minimum, just ballpark, if not more, with us. So yeah, it was more so just to put extra money in our business, if that makes sense. Um, But yeah, no, I wanted to hop on here, do a quick stream. I thought I was only going to be on for like 20 minutes, but we got caught up in some good old Dallas traffic on a Friday evening. But I'm just now getting ready to pull up to this flea job, my last stop of the day, right around, not right around the corner, but about 5 minutes from home. So I'm going to knock out this flea job. For those of you know, of course, today actually it was like right last week, and yeah, that kind of sucked. I tried doing a live stream. What was it like Monday, maybe Sunday or Monday, and God, I suffered through that freaking. I suffered through that stream. I'll tell you all what, I downed so many bottles of water after that stream because my throat was just so dry and achy. Damn, speaking of which, I'm out of water. I forgot about that in my cooler. But yeah, I wanted to hop on real quick, just, chat it up with you guys, answer a couple questions real quick, and, just give you all an update overall. Like I said, we've sold about $1,500 today in services and whatnot. And one of them, the biggest one, was at $1,100 for the year. This one's a flea job. Right now, if we don't sell anything, just a ballpark for the rest of the year, or for the rest of the month, even though it's the first of August, my God, my brain's all over the place. Still got COVID brain. Um, if we don't do anything for the rest of September, we will be somewhere right around $13,000 for gross sales for September. And of course, the beauty of that is we're at the first of the month. So we got plenty of time to keep on selling. The goal for this month is 25,000. Of course, I always set my goals super high. Are we going to hit it? Who knows? We will see. Oh, yeah, another awesome update. We found out about our transmission that it's going to be $5,300. So that's awesome, right? Great way to, cap off the week and start a new month. It definitely gives me some drive to go out and sell some shit, right? But yeah, that was awesome. Something that I expected to cost maybe $2,000 to $4,000. It's gonna cost $5,300. So I'm like, oh, that's a lot more than I expected. But good old joys of business ownership, entrepreneurship, all that good stuff. Yeah, no more Chevys. Exactly. No more Chevys. I'll stick with the good old Nissan, Toyota, maybe Ram. I like Rams. I like the look of them at least. I don't know how dependable they are. I'll have to look more into them. But yeah, no more Chevys, that's for sure. But hopefully you guys had a great week. If I don't hear from you all before next week, then have a great, was it Labor Day weekend, right? Yeah, Labor Day. That's September. I lose track of all these stupid ass holidays. Like, to me, it's just another day. I'll probably be working Labor Day. But I might try to do another live stream for you guys either tomorrow or Sunday. I'll probably do one on Labor Day as well, even. If not, post an actual video or whatever the case may be for you guys. But yeah, if you have any questions after this goes from a live to a video, don't hesitate to shout it out in the comments below. Always looking for more questions to answer on future live streams and videos. And hopefully, you all have a good night. Take it easy, everybody.